Welcome to Your Cue, an open invitation to come together, collaborate, and take action towards a more connected, informed, and thriving Douglas County. Your Cue is all about celebrating, uplifting, and educating our community. Each week, we'll highlight the people, ideas, and organizations making a difference and invite you to join us in shaping the future of Douglas County. Brought to you by Roseburg Schools. And now, Your Cue.
Good afternoon and welcome to Your Cue on this beautiful day in Douglas County. Tiffany, always great to see you. And we have a fantastic studio of wonderful people. We've got some incredible students with us today, seniors from both South Umpqua and Glide High School, and some great community leaders that are cheering on our young people across our community.
Yeah, awesome group of people and the most students we've ever had.
Yeah,
so that's exciting too.
Yeah, for sure. So thank you very much for being here. Great to have you on the show today. And so what I'd love to do, and Tasha, we'll start with you, is just for our listeners today, I'd love for them just to know kind of who's in the studio. So if you just want to spend just a minute, introduce yourself and maybe share something about you for our listeners.
Sure. My name is Tasha Stevens Garcia, and I'm a teacher at Roseburg High School. I think I've been there, it's my 9th year, I think, and I teach mostly seniors. So I teach AP Government and Mock Trial and Economics.
And you were this year's keynote speaker at graduation.
I am, which is quite an honor. I graduated there myself in '94, and so it's like a full circle moment to be back. And yeah.
Amazing.
Very cool.
It's great. Clara.
My name is Clara Kercher. I go to Glide High School. About me. I compete in soccer, basketball, track and field. Aubrey and I are the ASB presidents at Glide. We like co-parented together on it all, you know. Yeah.
Great. Thank you.
My name's Aubrey Groth. Go to Glide High School. I love to be outdoors, hiking, biking, going on runs. I've been in cross country for 6 years. Our team went to state this year, which is really exciting for the first time. Yeah, I just love being outside. I love baking and cooking and stuff like that.
I love it.
Awesome.
It's great. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, I'm Ruby Brink. I'm a senior at South Umpqua High School. A couple of things about me is I compete in basketball, kind of like Clara, and soccer, and did a little bit of softball. Some things I really like to do is I'm in this group organization called FBLA. It's a really big part of my life. Maybe we can talk a little bit more about it when we get into it, but I really like doing that. I'm attending Schmeketa here in September this year. And I'm going for, don't really know yet, but it's something, as well as cosmetology school.
Thank you.
I'm Ericka Bear. I am the proud superintendent at South Umpqua High School, or I guess the district, not just the high school. And I've been in education for, I'm going to say, well over 20 years. And as a special educator when I started, and I've had the opportunity to do all kinds of jobs. And I've been in Douglas County now for 2 years. And the most exciting thing going on for me right now is, of course, the graduation for all of these young people. But most especially, my son is graduating this Friday as well. Thank you.
So exciting.
That's a big milestone.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Big step.
Yep.
I'm Robert Freeman. I have the privilege of being the superintendent of the Glide School District. Something those two forgot to tell you is they are also the student reporters at our board meeting every night, and the audience and the board look forward to their reports every month. I'm a Douglas County guy. I actually graduated from the Oakland School District. I started teaching in Sutherland, and I was in that district for 28 years. I was fortunate enough to get hired in the Roseburg School District for 8 years, and now this is my 3rd year in Glide. So been around the county, just love this county and what this county produces. I'm really excited to hear from these 3 young people about some of the benefits that they've gleaned from our area, and just super excited to hear from them. So thank you for having me on.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, for being here, for sure. Let's start with our students. Start for the show here. Great to have you here. So this is senior year.
Yeah.
and it's coming to an end here soon. We've got graduation on Friday at South Umpqua, graduation Saturday at Roseburg, and graduation Sunday at Glide. So it's just like right getting close, right? So you've been at this for a while in education, right?
Yeah.
In these communities, and it's been a 13-year run. Like a large part of your life has been revolved around schools. And so maybe what I'd love to hear from you is maybe if you could talk about someone who maybe stands out, who's made an impact on who you are today, and maybe talk about why that is as it relates to your educational experience here in Douglas County.
It's a powerful question there.
Love that question.
Yeah. It's so hard to pick like one person, honestly, that really like pushed me or like got me to where I am here today. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, for me, it'd probably have to be my dad. And like, cause he's like been like just like a big support system in my life, and like I remember I'm gonna talk about like a specific memory. I'm so sorry. I was on the cross country team in middle school, and it was my first time doing it. And I remember I had to do 3-mile runs on the weekends, and my dad would go with me. And this man is probably like 40 years old and hasn't ran ever. He hasn't ran in a while. I remember we were going up this hill, and I wanted to give up so bad. I was like, Dad, can you just let me walk? And he was like, no, we're not walking. And like that memory is just stuck in my head, like how he was determined to make me a better person and athlete, and just he's been there. Story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, and it reminds me, the first and most important teacher is the parent. And that's powerful. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That's great.
I was actually going to say the same thing. So my dad, it's been actually a really beautiful experience. When we first moved to Glide, my dad was my 5th grade teacher. And so I was able to that was a good transition for me to be able to have my dad as a teacher then. And then now he's my senior, he's my teacher again in our senior class. And he's also my track and cross country coach. So I've been able to I spend a lot of time around my dad. But it's been really beautiful to grow that relationship between us. And we've had so many good memories, and he's taught me a lot.
I love that. That's really special.
Yeah. To piggyback off of that, I would agree. My mom, she's my biggest supporter for sure. She's kind of played both roles for my mom and my dad, because my dad passed away when I was young, but she has been an amazing support in my life. But not only my family and my friends, the staff at our school. Kathy Brown is our librarian. And for some reason, I don't even know why, but we have built an amazing bond. And I go in there, I see her every single day. And she's just such a bright light in my day every single day. It's so nice to have someone at school. But every day at school, I dread it. I don't want to go sometimes. No, but not every day. But a lot of times I'm like, gotta wake up. But no, seeing her is really something that just brightens my day a little bit. And that's something that's pushed me for sure. She's always, get your ingenuity done. So no, she's great. So shout out to Kathy.
That's an amazing relationship that it sounds like you have with her.
She's a great person.
Do you think that some of that feeling that you're experiencing has anything to do with being at the end of your school career?
It's funny because she's actually retiring this year as well. So she's kind of graduating with me, which I think is really sweet. And me and my friend Olivia, we have a really, really close bond with her. Yeah,
that's incredible. Amazing.
Yeah, I think this is really amazing. I think it's so good to see when our families are involved in education and when students are having that experience that's connecting with adults. I mean, Tasha, I was at mock trial recently just to see the connection you have with students. And I want to maybe open this up a little more broadly before we dive into the senior experience, which is what we'll really get to in a minute. And that is about the value proposition of education. There are people that are wondering if education has the value that I think all of us have seen, especially as leaders and hopefully students too. Can we talk I just want to open this up to the whole group here about how important is your educational experience as students been to be part of a community to be learning, and even for leaders about the importance of public education that sometimes is called into question sometimes. Like, is it valuable? What does it do? And so I just want to open this up, maybe to our students and our adults here. Like, what has your educational experience meant for you, our seniors who are kind of getting to the end of this K-12 journey and onto life? And for our leaders here, the value you see in providing these rich educational experiences for our youth.
I can speak as a leader. I think it's critical. I think public education is the backbone of our society. And if we don't view it that way, then that's going to be the demise of our country. We have to support public education. It's a great equalizer. It's where kids get to make mistakes and have support people around them to help learn from those mistakes. When they become adults and get out in the real world and make those mistakes, there's great consequences, dire consequences that come from that. So that's their opportunity for us to help them lead. And I know there's a public sentiment out there right now about public education and where it is in the state. But as a longtime educator, this is my 39th year in education, not adding all the years I went to school. I think our educational system right now is stronger than it ever has been. I hope we get into more time and I can delve into that a little bit more, but I'd like to argue that with anybody. We're producing the best quality that we've ever produced in public education right now, and it's essential for the lifeline of not only our communities, our counties, our state, but the United States in general. Sorry, I was probably a little deeper than you guys were. Still really passionate about that.
Yeah, I would say, especially since COVID-19, and even just in general, people long for community and people just want to create bonds with just other humans, I think. And being in public school, I think, is a really, really big part of that. I think a lot of our friends have been from school. A lot of the people we've grown up with, a lot of people that have made us who we are today are people that we've met at school. And it's such like in this development stage of our lives, this is such a crucial part. And meeting all these people and having all these experiences within a public school setting, I think is very important.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's like important to remember that you won't only find like positive relationships in schools, but also that's like a huge important part of being in school, that you'll be able to have conversations with people you may not agree with, and that you can like learn how to disagree with someone respectfully. And I think that's really important.
I agree with that. Yeah, I was going to say something like that as well. Thinking deeply is uniquely human. And you have to think deeply, to think critically. You have to be in a room with people that you don't agree with. You have to be able to hear their perspectives. You don't have to agree with it, but you need to understand it. You need to form an argument. You need to solidify those arguments within yourself to become a full person. And the value of it is I learn from my students every day. I mean, it's not something that stops when you graduate high school or college. It's what we do as humans. At every interaction, I can learn something from and grow as a person. And I think that public education gives the space to do that. And it's vital.
Well, education opens doors, right? It opens possibilities. It opens minds. It helps whole communities think about how we come together, how we build what's next, how we're going to solve the very complex problems that are in front of us every day. And like Aubrey said, it's the great equalizer. Public education is foundational to our society. It's foundational to ensuring that the future of Douglas County, the future of the state, the future of the country is in hands of folks who have learned how to think critically, how to wrestle with some of the big problems that we're facing and disagree about those and test out different solutions. And without having that, the tools provided to learn how to critically think, delve deeply, and again, have those doors open. Think about that first time that you were exposed to a piece of literature that really moved you, or the first time that you we're able to wrestle through the scientific process and make a discovery. None of that is possible without high quality education. And I agree that as much as we hear in the world, we are doing more and better for our students today than we ever have before. We're continually evolving, we're continually learning and putting those pieces into place. And it makes me so hopeful for the future, especially when I'm sitting next to such impressive young people, to know that the world's going to be in good hands.
Yeah. Well said. I couldn't agree more. And I think this is a uniquely talented group of young people. More so, I think, than I've seen in my entire career. Been doing this for a little while as well. And I think this generation of young people is really uniquely talented. They are committed. And I think our responsibility is to make sure you have an experience that is of such value that matches your character and ability. And I do look at our schools and I am shocked at the experiences you're able to have with athletics, activities. You mentioned FBLA, Ruby, our CTE programs, our medical pathways, experience. I mean, like, think about Tasha, Stevens, Garcia, like rock star teachers that have the training and the knowledge and expertise. And it's pretty amazing. And I'm really happy about so many of the things happening here in Douglas County, particularly when we look at you and what you're doing and what you're going to do moving forward. So it's super exciting.
Well, and that's what I was going to say is that, we definitely don't all agree with everything that ODE says and policies in place and whatever. But one thing that's adds a lot of value to public education is that these are the requirements for being a teacher in public education is that somebody has to have a master's degree in a specialized subject that they have studied and that they have learned very well. And that is the promise that they get to give to our students.
Yeah.
That they are sharing all of the knowledge and wisdom that they have gained having that standard. We're going to head to a quick break, but before we do, let's hear from RHS leadership students on how their senior year has been going.
The 2025-2026 school year is almost over, and we have another group of amazing seniors leaving us, leaving behind another year of the traditional Roseburg High senior experience. High school is made up of countless moments, some unforgettable, some unexpected, and some that shape who we become. Over the years, seniors have created lasting memories, celebrated traditions, built meaningful friendships, and learned valuable lessons both inside and outside the classroom. As graduation approaches and one chapter comes to a close, they have the opportunity to look back on the experiences that helped define their journey. Before taking their next steps, we have asked seniors to reflect on their high school experience.
Serving my school community with my leadership family.
Being in the front of the bum squad. Becoming a certified phlebotomist and a certified CNA. My favorite memorable experience has to be band and marching band. It's so fun.
My favorite senior tradition are the senior night sports games.
My favorite senior tradition? Gotta be senior skip day.
The senior family lunch is an event that leadership hosts for graduating seniors, and it kind of kicks off the start of a lot of different senior experiences towards the end of the year. It's a time where family gets to come together and we play games, we listen to music, we eat food. It's just a nice 2-hour event to spend time with each other and to celebrate our seniors.
What drumbeats are is there a special way for family members, former teachers, relatives across the country to click on a link that's accessible on our website, QR code, and it pulls up a website where you can find your graduate and send them a short message, congratulations, a well wish, and the next steps of the walk.
After practice, they get to go and do a cool trip to go visit their elementary school. So we've got buses aligned to each school, so students will get to go back to their elementary school, say hi to their teachers and principals, check in with all the young kids who are going to be in awe. They're going to put a parade on for the seniors, and they'll be wearing their caps and gowns, and it'll be a great acknowledgement for our seniors, but it'll also be great motivation for those elementary kids to continue their education and finish strong. So,
I love the graduation experience because it just signifies all the hard work that students have done throughout their schooling. And it's a fun celebration to recognize that.
The advice I'd give to my freshman self is to just have fun with everything.
Don't put so much pressure on yourself.
Get involved early. Advice I would give to my freshman self is to always just trust the process. As senior year comes to a close, it's clear that high school is about more than just classes and assignments. It was about the friendships formed, the traditions shared, the challenges overcome, and the memories created along the way. While each senior path will be different, the experiences of these years will continue to shape who they become and guide them into the future.
Welcome back to Your Cue. Great to have our guests here again. Let's dive in a little bit more to this senior experience.
Yeah, they asked a lot of really good questions
They did.
there. And so I think the first one was, what is your favorite senior tradition or senior experience? Yeah, let's start with that. How would you answer that?
Senior experience.
Yeah.
I would say so far mine has been senior sunrise because it was right at the beginning of the year and everyone was like getting back into being with each other every day, and you're just able to like form some closer bonds, and it was really fun to just see everyone again and have a good breakfast and take some pictures with everyone.
So how early did you guys get out there?
I think it was 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're up, Bobby, before that every day, I'm fair.
Senior experience, I would say just being a senior. I don't know if that makes sense, but having the like senior seniority and just being able to be like, I'm a senior, I only have 3 classes, and kind of just being able to leave is a big thing. Having those gaps in between my classes is kind of good and kind of not so good because I'm like, oh, I have to go back to class. But just feeling like a senior and being a senior, seeing seniors for the past 4 years and like, oh, I'm going to be one of them one day.
Yeah.
So it's nice to just be at the end of the line and on home stretch.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For me, it'd probably be like, after like competing like in sports for like 4 years, like finally like being able to like be like a leader on your team and then like encourage like the new freshmen. You kind of like tuck them under your wing a little bit. You're like, hey, this is gonna happen, don't worry. And just like just kind of like signing off on your sports season, It's been kind of crazy with the, oh my gosh, what's it called? Senior night. Senior nights,
Right.
Senior night is a big thing.
It's a big wrap up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. I mean, I'm curious about the emotion, right? So you're kind of this end of a journey, right? And the beginning of a new journey. But talk to us a little bit about like, how are you feeling? Like you're days away from graduation. Like, is it a whole bunch of feelings? Is it nervousness? Is it excitement? Is it all of that? Like, how are you feeling? I mean, again, graduation, just for our listeners, so you know, Friday, South Umpqua, Saturday at Roseburg, and Sunday at Glide this week. So super exciting. So fill our listeners in. How are you doing? How's
I feel, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The only way I can describe it is like surreal. Like it's not really like hitting me yet. It's like I just feel like it feels different, but I don't really know how to describe it. It's like all the emotions at once. It's like sadness and nervousness and scared that I'm gonna be like out of a routine that I've been building into my life for the last 13 years, but then also like excited for the next chapter and then sad that I'm gonna be leaving my sports behind. And it's just crazy. It's every emotion you could feel at one time is how I would describe it.
Yeah, I would say it's just really not hitting yet. Like I haven't really come to the realization like, oh my gosh, high school's over. I'm done. Now it's time to go to college. I think that's part of it is, same time this coming fall, I'm going to be going to school again. So it's exciting to be like done with high school, but it's also I'm going back to school. So I feel like it's just not too much out of a routine for me. And, but I know college is a lot different. You have a little bit more freedom and you have to pay for it. But so that's definitely something that I'm going to have to get used to. And living kind of on my own, still kind of with, because I'm living with my sister for a year or so during community college. So it's going to be different not living with my siblings or, you know what I mean? And my mom and stuff like that. So that's going to be definitely kind of strange. I think that's what I'm more nervous about is moving rather than just graduating. But yeah.
Do you know what you're studying at?
Well, I've been switching back and forth between like business and psychology because I'm really interested in both of them, but I'm also really interested in cosmetology. And I know business and cosmetology can kind of go hand in hand. But psychology is just something I'm like really interested in and learning about. I am taking psychology classes right now through UCC, and I love them. It's just Psych 101, so it's just kind of the beginning, and I love everything I learn. I think it's so interesting. So that's something I definitely am going to look into when I get there, but and my goal when I get to community college is just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
That's great. And I think that is really great that community college is there so I can figure it out and then decide from there.
I mean, cosmetology, business, and psychology, they go together because some of the best people that give advice and know the community and have these, really powerful kind of, they know so much about people and probably in that world. So that's
and what came to mind for me is that business and psychology, when they marry, it's marketing.
Oh, really?
And if you do your own cosmetology business, you're going to need to market. So definitely started.
Get down together, Sam.
All.
So I will say this: it's as much as you're having and a kind of range of emotions.
Yeah.
I want to put this out to the adults here because you're probably not alone in this. I mean, certainly, like parents go through a range of emotion. I know I have got 4 kids, and so there's also this like, and the adults that work with you. I mean, we've got Tasha, you work with seniors a lot, and
and I get to go through. I've gone through graduation as a person, as a parent a couple times, but I get to do this every year with so many seniors, and I really feel it. And like I said earlier, I learn from my students, and what I do celebrations. When you heard about the school celebrations, but I do a lot of classroom celebrations, and I realized I need to slow down for those feelings that you're talking about. Really, I had a couple of students feeling so much anxiety because what made them successful in high school was planning every step. But in adulthood, you can't really plan past step 1, or it causes great anxiety. So I've learned that I need to focus on that. And I also learned that we do such a good job in this county with our schools of creating a community, like we talked about before, that there is this sadness from leaving that community.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I didn't really recognize that as much as I should have. So I'm going to leave some space for that. That's a future.
Yeah. What about our superintendents?
Well, so graduation, of course, is my favorite night of the year. I was a high school principal for many years, and every year it was a sense of both. You're so proud of the students. You've watched what they've accomplished and the different, and every student has a different journey, and they face different hardships and different accomplishments and all of that. And so to watch them go through what they've been through and cross the stage is always tremendous, and always feel so proud. And then also there is a sense of loss because you are connected to these folks, and they're going off into the world. And I think this year, my youngest is graduating from high school on Friday also. So I'm actually not going to be at the South Umpqua High School graduation, which is breaking my heart a little bit. I know. And I was working, I'm the speaker for the graduation. And so I was working on my speech today and thinking about that moment when the graduates are walking down, and every single year. And I stood on the stage at graduation for, I think, 10 years. And every single year, it brought a tear to my eye as you're watching the graduates walk, because it's just such an incredible accomplishment. and what it took, all the adults that rallied around them, the community that rallied around them, the families, the partnerships. And then the students took that and did it. And it's remarkable. It's hard to put into words.
Yeah.
So you have a few different angles that you're looking at it from.
A big week for me.
Yeah. Sounds like that. So as a parent, I mean, what are some of the emotions that you were looking at as a parent?
Yeah. Well, I don't think people are supposed to get weepy on this particular podcast, but I'm super proud of him and super excited and grateful for the experience that he was able to have in high school. I mean, similarly to these young people here, he was able to get involved in DECA, which is similar to LA. He was able to play athletics and had a really incredible experience with that. And he had some phenomenal educators who taught him so much. And so I'm grateful more than anything. And of course, I'm super proud of him. And also like, I can't believe he's leaving me.
So many mixed emotions. Yeah.
It's sweet. That's exciting.
Well, I'm sure that your speech is going to have so much passion. Oh, I can go on imagine. I need to go watch it.
Yeah. Sure, it'll be beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to echo what everyone said. I think graduation is one of those culminating activities in every person's life that is 100% positive. There's nothing negative about that.
Yeah.
Your whole family, your support group, they're so proud of you in this moment. And it's one of those times in life where you just need to take it in and absorb it and look around you and just see how blessed you are, how many people it took to get you to go across that line. As educators, it's what we do. It's a culminating activity for everything we put into education. And as a leader, Ruby, something you said that was super important. As a leader, I need to make sure every person in my organization understands that at any moment, they make an impact in somebody's life. And just like your librarian has made an impact with you, it's not necessarily your master teachers. It could be your custodian or your bus driver. Or it could be anybody that's in education. And as leaders, we just need to make sure that our staff know how valuable and really what their mission is. What's the end product? And the end product is when they get to walk across the stage and get that diploma.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say, super proud of our kids and probably what you're experiencing in South Umpqua. When your seniors leave, they're the ones who kind of set that culture.
Yeah.
Same thing at Roseburg. They set the culture of your school. It's a little uneasy as a superintendent, like, okay, what's this next class? And what culture are they going to set?
Yeah.
Super proud of this class. They have set a culture that we could be really proud of at Glide, and they should be really proud of their time that they spent in the Glide School District.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think as a superintendent, it's interesting. I've got my youngest is a junior, and for people in the community that don't think kids work hard and just work your tails off and are busy and are committed. I mean, I honestly, I'm not sure I could keep up if I was a student these days. I'm kind of glad I graduated when I did.
I would agree.
It is more rigorous and demanding and taxing. And I think our young people are so involved in so many things, which is great. It's also a complicated time to grow up too. And I think as a superintendent, I mean, this year, as I look forward to graduation, we've got 365 kids graduating. And so many of their stories are about overcoming things, about doing things they didn't think they could do, about grinding through, we've got a lot of like comorbidity factors in the community, and not every home is an ideal space. And sometimes there's conflict, and sometimes there's issues of confidence, and there's issues of just the challenge of being a young person. I tell parents all the time, like, being a young person today is like amazing opportunity, but it's also super complex. And there's a lot of pressure on our young people. It's a different world, different landscape with social media and all the pressures and demands. And I think what I love about graduation is when you know the story of these young people and they've committed to something, and you've got group that's rallying at the home, hopefully behind them, and the school community, and hopefully the community at large. And we see that. And what I want to say is congratulations, because it matters. Your high school graduation diploma matters. No one can take that from you. That experience is pretty unique. And it's an experience that is, people sometimes, if you haven't been and seen young people and the work they do, we might think I didn't work as hard in high school. Like, it matters because you've done when you've met that level of proficiency, which some people question if it's proficient, it's complicated. Like the work is deep. You have to think critically and you have to be committed to do that. So I just want to say congratulations. And it's neat to see each one of those students is they get that diploma, and you can see it on their face every time, how much that means. And it's exciting.
So excited. And there's so much that goes into that accomplishment, right? It's not just academics. It's like a whole bunch of a series of experiences and, relationship building and, learning trial and error and exploring different passions, which is another great thing about, public education. You have so much exposure to new things that you're able to find a passion for. And so it's really it's so much more than just being handed a diploma. It really is something to take with you, this sense of confidence that you can just hold and carry and keep with you through your whole life.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so I've got a question kind of for our youth here today, and that's this, because I've often wondered this, like how much pressure do you feel to have things like your lives kind of figured out by the time you graduate? Talk about this a little bit. I don't necessarily need to know where the pressure comes from. Maybe sometimes we put pressure on ourselves. It's parents trying to help. I think adults, we try to help sometimes. I don't know, we are always as helpful as we intend to be. But can you talk to us a little bit about like the perspective from a senior today, class of 2026? Like, how much pressure do you feel to have things figured out? Your senior year, is that a thing?
Oh yeah, it is a thing for sure.
I'm like a contradicting I know it's a thing, but like I feel like I started out my year where I didn't know what I wanted to do, you know what I mean? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be a failure, I'm gonna be homeless. Like this was like, oh my God, I was like, this is done. But then I was telling people this and they're like, no, you have so many options. Like there's community college, you can go straight into the workforce, if you want to go to university, we got your back. There was so many people, and it was like, what if you choose, we got you, is what the vibe I got from my school and my family, So there was a pressure, but I think it was mostly coming from myself. And when I realized that it was okay, I was like, okay, I'm going to do what I want and I'm going to be happy with, So
Yeah, I would agree with that actually. It in the beginning of the year, I feel like I put it off because I was just like, I don't want to even think about it. It's a lot to decide, what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And that starts with college or within the workforce. And to think about it, even now, I'm like, oh my God. But I think I have it a little bit more figured out. And I definitely go with that kind of persona is just, my support system's got me. And to have, family that's willing to take me in for a little bit and let me save up money while I work and go to school and figure out what I'm going to do with my life. And just go on from there. It's a lot. It takes a lot off. It takes a lot of that pressure off. But in the middle of the year when my teacher's like scholarships, I was like, oh no. And I was like, okay, I did a couple, but I was like, this is stressful. Scholarships, I think, are a lot of the stressful, my word, but.
And when you don't know what to do and you're just try to apply to all the colleges, do all the scholarships, and you feeling this crazy pressure that you need to have everything figured out now, but when it's really more beneficial to take things one at a time, one step at a time, and just slow down because nourishing.
I mean, if you approach it, sometimes there's pressure. There's these FAFSA deadlines and these scholarships and credits and all these things. I mean, I think you're there, which is great. And I think the process is about becoming. And if you keep that perspective of then it gives you a little more space to be sometimes it's not always what I want to do, but it's who I want to become. And sometimes what you do helps you with that. And so, but I think there's a lot of pressure on our young people to be perfect and to do it right. And also there's all these imposed deadlines and things. And sometimes I know I've seen some people that sometimes that anxiety, the pressure to know what you're going to do, maybe even overshadows the joy of graduation. I'm glad that it sounds like a balance that you've had. I like the fact you're reconciling that with hey, whatever I choose to do, I got it. Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, even when you become an adult and in the world and you're established, we still fight with ourselves about expectations. It's like we still have to constantly remind ourselves, like, okay, I need to be careful not to create too many tight expectations and keep things open and flexible enough to where you can just move through life, with openness and so that you're able to invite anything that comes along, because we can't predict everything in life.
Yeah. So I've got I have a question, and it's kind of like it's both for adults and students here, and that's the one for students is like, what lessons are you going to take as you think about graduation? What lessons do you take in your life that have been part of your school experience? That's for you, and then I think for our adults here, I think, like, what lessons do you take from your experience with this senior class?
Yeah. I think the main thing that I will bring with me into my future career or college or whatever is just like staying organized, keeping everything written down. That helps me a lot. Like every assignment gets written down in my notebook. And like, I think finding that out about myself has been really beneficial. And I think that's something that'll really help me like later on in life. Just that small thing, like staying organized, making sure I have all my ducks in a row will really help me.
The big thing. I love that.
Mm-hmm. I'd say like there's like a couple things for me is like take the opportunity, like take the chance, and like don't judge a book by their cover. You know what I mean? Like get to know somebody, make new friends, make new memories. If you have that chance to be a part of, I don't know, like a book club or something, go for it. You don't know how much fun it is until you actually try it.
I 100% agree with that. Another thing that I've taken away from high school is time management.
Yes.
So like with sports and outside clubs and school and work, it gets a lot, and it gets like, I don't even have enough time in the day to do this. So, a big thing is to stop procrastinating too.
Yeah.
When it comes to homework,
I was gonna say.
when it comes to homework, especially because like at the end of the year, I started to realize like if you get that assignment, just do it, and you don't even have to worry about it. You just get it done, and it's like, I didn't have an assignment.
Do it anyway eventually.
Yeah, exactly. So that's something that like this month I started really doing, but that's something I'm definitely going to use throughout college and even like work and stuff like that. So that's a big thing for sure.
That's great. But the adults, what lessons are you going to take? I mean, Tasha, you mentioned this, like there's things to learn from our young people all the time, right? Oftentimes they're such great teachers. Our youth are like so fun to be around and things. But any lessons that we're going to take in this senior class?
I have really looked at anxiety and nervousness and what does that mean? And I talk to my students about that. It means you're doing something that matters. If you didn't care, you wouldn't be nervous about it. And I could use that myself as a lesson in life. It means that it matters. So respect that feeling and approach it like it matters. Put the time and effort into whatever that is that's making you nervous.
Yeah. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah. I agree with that.
I think I've learned from this senior class in particular, the power of, it's two things. It's the power of perseverance and what it means to really continue to work and grind and get that assignment done, all of those pieces, even when it gets really hard. This group has had some challenges. There have been all kinds of curveballs thrown their way that were totally out of their control, and they persevere. And at the same time, it's the importance of slowing down and appreciating the moment and taking it all in, because each of them have something so unique and special to offer. And sometimes not sometimes in education, always in education, we're moving very, very quickly. And so to really pause and remember to take those lessons in, to remember the gifts that they're all bringing and the incredible gift that they've been to our school and our community, and hope that they'll come back and continue to serve in Douglas County.
Yeah, love that.
I'm going to backpack on what Clara said. What I've learned from this group, learned several things. This group is really close. So you talk about community, a tight knit, and everyone has each other's back. This class exudes that. But Clara hit something that really struck a nerve with me about taking advantage of opportunities when they arise. I think about this group and the opportunities that they've had through the Glide School District. It's unreal. I'm going to list off several opportunities that they've participated in. And for a school of 715 students, it's incredible the things that they've done. So the group has been to Iceland. They're headed to the Galapagos Islands here soon. They've hiked to the top of Mount Bailey. They've restored trails that the fire took out. They restored the nature trail at the elementary school. They've gone to Seattle did either one of you guys participate in that? What was it? What was that called? What institutions did you go to?
We went to the Allen Institute, the Fred Hutch Center, and University of Washington. They had a lab there that we could do.
They actually got to participate in cutting edge cancer research while they were there.
Heart dissections.
Heart dissection. I mean, things that you just can't do in a classroom. And the list goes on and on. I can't remember everything. They know more than I do. But the point is they've taken advantage of those opportunities. I think life moves really fast. And if you sit down and you miss those opportunities, you're going to miss a lot in life. And this class really takes advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah. Been pretty evident today. That's absolutely the case. And that's really great advice.
So important, no matter what age you are. That's really, so important.
Yeah, I love
So looks like we are wrapping up this episode on the radio version. And next week, we'll be talking about America 250, a once-in-a-generation milestone marking 250 years of American independence, which is huge, and how our community is coming together to celebrate and leave a legacy for future generations. Shannon Sebastian and David Hopkins are kicking off the festivities with a flag giveaway on Flag Day weekend at RHS, giving away 250 flags, which is awesome. The Boy Scouts actually folded all of those flags.
Amazing.
So it's been a community effort. It'll be a wonderful event. So the event will include first responders, booths with giveaways, and so much more. This is a community partnership event, and so there'll be lots going on. Face painting, there'll be food truck, so much.
Yeah, something about maybe a time capsule I've heard.
10-year time capsule. So that's huge. They're actually inviting the community to bring in items to contribute to this time capsule that will be opened in 10 years. So that's going to be really exciting. All the details will be on next week's episode. So you're going to want to check it out. And then in the meantime, we are going to head over to our after show, which you can check out on the Roseburg Schools YouTube channel. And so you're not going to want to miss the rest of this conversation. We're going to go more into depth about what it means to cross this bridge between high school to the real world. So stay with us. And thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you. Okay, welcome back to your Q. We've got the after show here. Go a little deeper. Thank you very much. Such a fun conversation with each of you. And thanks for being here this afternoon. So let's jump into a little bit more about some experiences with our graduation. Again, we've got graduation on Friday at South Umpqua, and graduation Saturday, Roseburg High School, and graduation Sunday. So please, this should be a community celebration. So we look forward to the community showing up and rallying around our students and cheering them on for the great work they've done in the community. Let's delve into the senior experience a little bit more.
Yeah, there's so much to go into it. So many fun traditions. So I'd love to dive deeper into what your school traditions are and kind of your experience with those.
Well, I guess it was August. I think we painted our senior parking spot. Made this the staff, they repaint them white, and then you have a blank canvas, and they can do whatever you want on them. Mine has the little turtle from Surf's Up, and it says "Later, dudes." So,
yeah, that's cute.
I love that.
Just to clarify, not everything they wanted.
That's the appropriate thing.
But they always have been appropriate. It's really a fun activity. We barbecue and we invite parents to come join them.
I love that.
That's so cool. I love the collaboration too with the staff and students.
Yeah. Even though I haven't participated in it yet, most memorable senior tradition I remember is the seniors walking through all the schools of the district. So the elementary school hallways, middle school hallways, and high school hallways. And I just remember it always being an emotional experience for me. So I'm like really excited to get to participate in it myself.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
I would say all the things that just bring the seniors together, like senior sunrise, senior sunset. We had this game that is a new thing that we just started this year called the Golden Lancer. Our principal, Mr. Simpson, saw it off a game show, kind of made it up himself. But basically, it was a $500 reward. And have you guys ever played Among Us? You guys saw that? Yeah. So it's kind of like that, and kind of also like the game Imposter. And so it's like that kind of all mixed together. And we had these like tasks we had to do, and someone had the $500, and they were like, no one's supposed to know. We're supposed to figure out who it was. It was really fun. It was something that I hope becomes a tradition for the later senior classes.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. It was real money. Oh, yeah.
Real money.
I messed around.
$500. I know. I didn't win. I got booted out even though I wasn't the goal. It's fine. I don't want to talk about it. I'll just get mad. But no, it was a blast. And it really brought everyone together. Like everyone was in a room and we were all discussing in different groups that people don't really hang out with each other much. You know, it was a lot of fun. So shout out to Mr. Simpson. That was a great idea.
That's good.
And his attempt to shift away from the senior pranks. Entertaining in a way that was entertaining for the high school.
Very well said.
So this was a good, good move forward.
Very good. What do you see at RHS for senior traditions that are exciting for our?
So many. The leadership does such a great job bringing all this together. And like you just said, when groups that don't usually hang out at school get together and have a good time, that's the ultimate.
It is. It's a lot of fun.
So we have senior sunset that's coming up, and the family luncheon that was a success, and we have a whole homegoing week where they're volley buff, and then culminates with an assembly for seniors that we just had last Friday. So lots of stuff. And then of course teachers have things in their classrooms too, some traditions that they do.
Yeah.
One of the things I really love about what we do at RHS is after the graduation practice for the students, they all, in their cap and gowns, they get onto buses and they go to their elementary school that they went to growing up, and they get to walk through the halls in their graduation attire and see the teachers that helped them get to this.
It's my favorite thing to do. I tell them it's my favorite thing. Since I don't have the people in my classes anymore, I get to go too. And I think I've been to 4 different elementary schools. They each do something special for the kids. The little kids think they are looking at celebrities walking amongst them, and it is so precious.
Yeah, it is so true, isn't it? And it's like, I'm not sure who it's most impactful for, if it's our seniors, right, or if it's our elementary kids. It's actually both, right? One of those cool multi-generational activities that like there's like this reciprocity of benefit, right? Both really get that, which is pretty neat.
I remember seeing my sister actually walk through the hallways at Glide when I was in the elementary school. She was walking through her cap and gown, and I thought she was like untouchable. I thought she was like just like up here, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
one a day,
sister.
Exactly. That's great. Let me. I'm curious about this conversation. This is a great one for adults and for our youth as well, our young adults and our more seasoned adults here. So, what gives you hope about the future with this generation of young people? I'd love to hear also from our youth about, like, not that you're like, yeah, we're the best, but like, but I mean, it's not exactly right. So there's it seems like it was interesting. There was a Gallup poll a few years ago, and the Gallup poll, they gave a series of questions to people in 52 different countries. About 80,000 people took the poll, from sub-Saharan Africa to the Middle East to North and South America. And these themes emerged in terms of what the world needs today. And the themes were around hope, trust, stability, and compassion. It's really interesting. In fact, what's interesting is, regardless of your zip code, country, upbringing, political beliefs, they were really super aligned. The number one thing was hope. And the world's basically in need or in want of hope. And here we have some seniors that I think give us great hope about the future. And so I just want to put this question out there, like, what about this generation of young people gives you hope? And what can we share with our community, who sometimes people kind of lack this hope? Like, are we going to be okay? And I think we have a unique perspective in working with young people to be like, we're going to be great. Are you kidding me? like our democracy, our economic freedoms, as long as the adults don't screw it up, is in really good hands because these young people are amazing. So I'm just curious about that sense of hope.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think what comes to my mind is hope. We are producing the best product that public education has ever produced, and it's almost 250 years now. I have hope that our future generation is going to take care of us. They are more equipped now. You talked about it earlier. They're more equipped now to deal with adversity and things that come their way than we ever were. How they've navigated things that have happened worldwide, technology, relationships, just the world in general prepares them so much better than what I went through. And back to your point, Jared, you said earlier, I don't know if I could have sustained what these kids have sustained and the resiliency that they have to make it across that finish line. So I'm super proud of our youth and super hopeful that our country is in good hands, which means they're going to take care of me as I get older.
Yeah.
I think that Gen Z, our generation, has a lot of emotional intelligence. And I think that that's been a really big, like, we need to teach our parents have been teaching us this, and the media even. There's a lot of bad on the media, but there's also a lot of good. And depending on, what your algorithm is and what you allow yourself to consume, I think can be really important. And I feel like there's just a lot more kindness, especially since I've been in high school. I think the media has also made a really big impact on that. Like, bullying is not in anymore. Kindness is the new cool. And empathy. Yeah, empathy for sure. And I think that the media has given people a lot of chance to speak out and kind of use that as like a voice for themselves. And I think that a lot of people started to have empathy with a lot of other people, even that, could be in different countries, different parts of the world. And so I think media is a really big thing. Could be good and it could be bad, but
to piggyback off that, I'd say that like the hope that I find in this generation is the amount of inclusivity that we have.
Absolutely.
And the awareness that we have nowadays. Like we're not seeing as much as discrimination anymore, Aubrey and I are in an ASL class, and we are learning a lot about discrimination that happened to deaf people in like the 80s and 90s because there wasn't accessibility rights, But nowadays, through media and everything, we're seeing more rights for more people and inclusivity where people can come together and experience things as a whole and not be separated because they're different. We actually celebrate the differences and build each other up instead of tear everybody down.
Yeah.
Well, and I was just thinking there's, there can be some negative connotation to the word inclusivity.
Yeah.
What would you say to someone who's I don't know, maybe a little more old school thinking like that, or maybe misunderstanding what that might mean?
It's just what it would mean for them, to tell them what inclusivity means,
educate them and be like, this is not what it's about anymore, and get with the times, old person.
I feel when we label people as different, you know what I mean? I think back in 19th century, it was labeling people as different, we are not on the same level, you know what I mean? They're different, we're different. Maybe we're smarter and they're not, they can never do what I do. Being inclusive is accepting they're just as capable. There might be a little something that helps them be just as capable as we are, but nothing can limit the human body if they are set on accomplishing their goals,
I love that. So it's not allowing the differences to separate the unity and collaboration and oneness that we can feel as humans together. I love that. That's so powerful. That's total game changer for humanity.
Don't know how you can't have hope after listening to these folks, right? I mean, I just think about, what Ruby was saying was what I was really thinking about is this draw towards connection that I see in this generation, the amount of empathy, the adaptability. I mean, just to navigate through the world takes skills that I didn't even dream about when I was in school. And taking that and making the world open to everybody in it and having that sense of belonging for all of the humans that are in the world. And that's the hope. I mean, when we listen to that, when we see what they're carrying forward, it's impossible not to be hopeful.
Yeah. This generation, I think, not to put everybody in the same box here, but is uniquely talented in many ways, including like seeing the one, the sense of humanity. And also, I think it's a generation driven by a cause, that it's important for them to have a cause. I think it's really important to champion things that matter. And I see, like, in our interactions with young people, like just such good humans, such good human characteristics of seeing people. And to your point, Clara, like seeing the potential in people. Sometimes as adults, when I think we become less patient and like kind of more, we think it's pragmatic, but it's probably more dogmatic actually. But it's just the sense of like, you know what, this is where this relationship's going to go. This is what this person's going to accomplish. I think a lot of our young people really see a different paradigm, which is the potential in people, which is really, you know, one of the greatest assets I think of this generation is to really find out how to prop everybody up. That idea of like, if you can raise the tide, everything rises. And I love that about this generation. Yeah.
Absolutely. Coming together means that we can rally around a mission or a goal. It's being a team. Isn't that's what every team is about. And if we, if we continue to keep creating separation, we'll never be able to accomplish that. And so I love that about this generation.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Okay, I've got some quick fire questions, and then we'll turn this over to you. Can ask us questions, Okay. So these are just like things that come off, just whatever's off the dome here. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So success is
happiness, perseverance.
Oh man. I guess I'm try again.
Adults jump in here too.
Mine's strong family.
I was going to say happiness. It's happy and proud.
Happy and proud. Love that.
Shared joy.
Okay. Love that. Don't be afraid to
fail things. Try new things.
Yeah. Try new things.
Meet new people.
Jump in.
Put yourself out there.
Go against the grain.
Okay. The future belongs to
the bold.
I say all of us.
I'm going to agree with that. Where's Mr. going to say that? I just say ditto. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I hope every graduate remembers is
each other.
Don't waste your youth on stressing out over stuff like assignments and whatnot.
They matter.
Don't sweat the small stuff.
They can do big things. Move with passion.
Love that. And something the community should know about the class of 2026.
Huh.
Impressive. They're impressive. Yep.
How about one thing that you know that you're going to bring that's going to be great for this world?
Sounds equally difficult.
These are getting harder.
Okay, hard.
Stump the panel.
Just like that it's going to be okay. Like it's not the end of the world.
Wait, what was the original question?
I mean, the original question was like, what, I mean, for our listeners, hey, what is something that the community needs to know about the class of 2026?
Oh, we did it.
You love that.
Bravo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's not a quick hitter, but I'd just like the community to know that back to a point you made earlier, Jared, there's there's high expectations and high standards for every person that walks across that stage to accomplish. It's not a participation trophy. They've had to give everything they've had and more to walk across that stage. So they are very well prepared and equipped to go on and be the best versions of themselves that helps society prosper.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to realize, and if you don't get the work done, you don't walk, you don't graduate. Yeah. And so there is this whole idea of like, nah, everybody gets to graduate. Absolutely not the case. You have to put the work in, and it's a ton of work. And so, yeah, I think, I guess mine on that is that, these kids are worth it. And I think the community will thrive as these young people thrive. And so I hope all of us can celebrate across all of our county. Students graduating anywhere in this county is a win for the county. And I hope all of us can be excited about graduation this year. It's going to be exciting week for so many in our county.
Exciting for our community.
Absolutely.
So many young people entering our community.
Yep.
So let's make space for them.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, into the workforce, into staying, into going, and hopefully coming back and raising families, all the good stuff. All right. I think we've done a lot of talking. I'm going to open this up for what question the class of 2026 has for us.
I have a question for you.
Okay, yeah.
So when you guys are in our position, you guys are graduating high school, what were your guys' plans, and did you pursue those exact plans, or did you venture off to something else? And what would you, if you could go back to graduation, what would you be doing differently now?
Man, this is a great question. Who wants to start this one?
Yeah, I'll start. For me, they just invented the automobile. It was really cool to get to drive at first. I was unique. I was the oldest of 4 boys. I was a natural teacher. I've always wanted to be a teacher. Jared had asked you who was influential in your time.
Yeah.
Mine was a 6th grade teacher that I had. He was a basketball coach. Ever since that time, I knew I wanted to be an educator. It wasn't about the pay. It wasn't about getting the summers off, the cliches that you hear. It was really about the connections. Yeah. I've always been a relationship person. You talk about EQ. I would say that's my superpower. Having an influence on youth and people who give back to our community has always been super important and valuable to me. So that's how I knew what I wanted to do.
Nice.
Let's see. Go ahead, Jared.
See how it feels.
Dodging. Well, when I was getting ready to graduate, I wasn't quite sure. I knew I was either going to be a writer or I was going to go into education. I thought I was going to be a middle school math teacher. That's all I really wanted to do was middle school math or a writer. And I know those things seem a little bit divergent, but it made sense to me at the time. And once I got to school, I really started getting, you start doing these like little mini practicums and spending times in classrooms. And the first day I spent in a classroom, I knew that was the direction I was going to go. So definitely went the education route. But where I went to school, I went to the University of Oregon. You also got an endorsement in special education at the same time. And so I ended up falling in love with that and ended up moving into special education. And that's the route I ended up taking while getting an accidental English minor. I enjoyed writing so much. And so I was able to kind of do both things. And
that's good. Yeah. I like that. Best of both worlds.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm going to jump. That does echo some of your guys' philosophy about just putting yourself out there and letting your path happen.
Yeah.
It's a great idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. You've got to explore.
I did something similar to what you're doing.
Oh, really?
Moved with an aunt that I have to Portland and stayed with her and went to college, went to community college at PCC.
Oh.
And what's interesting is that when I was growing up, when I was a kid, I wanted to be a teacher. I knew all of my teachers were me. I was just like, they were what gave me hope. And so I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. But when I got there and I was like, I graduated and I went to school, I was like, I'm not settling on any one thing. I'm just going to on anything.
Yeah.
And I just studied what I was passionate about. I followed that. And that was psychology, sociology, writing. Those 3 things. I really focused. I got all my science credits. I just really and what's interesting about that is that what happened after that was I did go into early childhood education.
Oh yeah.
And I taught at a private school for a year until I
well, a couple years. And then I got married and I got pregnant. And so I became a stay-at-home mom. I knew that being a mom, I wanted to dedicate myself to my children.
Absolutely.
So I ended up, going through raising my kids, and then them getting to an age where I was like, okay, I guess I can enter the workforce again now that they're at an age. And I ended up using all of the knowledge that I gained in the areas that I studied.
Yeah.
Like without having that clear path, I was like, I just followed what I was passionate about. Oh, and art. Art was another.
Yes.
And I got like a pottery wheel at home, and I incorporated that into my raising my kids. It's like all the things that I learned. But then I went into marketing, and that's what I ended up doing for work. And so that psychology and communications and sociology really was able to be applied there. So yeah, it was actually, it turned out like to be a really powerful asset to me, what I studied. But I pulled out of my expectation. I pulled out of like being attached to being a teacher. Even though it's interesting how things work out.
It is.
Life.
It is.
A mom is the greatest teacher out there.
It is.
You are a teacher.
It's true. And all the things really. But yes, teacher.
You, Tasha, I'm sure.
I graduated. I am a native Oregonian and from generations of timber workers, either in the woods or in the mill. And so it's just going to be the topic of my keynote address at graduation. But I had that in the 90s, the community, the timber industry was going through changes, and our community rallied around us so much. They knew that the job outlook was changing in that, and really what are we going to do with the kids, where it was before that would be what you would just go to for a really good job. And so my family sacrificed everything so I can do something different. And so I knew that I would be going straight to college, and that I had so many people to lift me up and do that. And it didn't matter what I did. I really didn't feel the pressure of what I did, because it was such an accomplishment, the first in my family to go to college, first in my neighborhood to go to college, and everyone was cheering me on. And so that community, that work ethics drives everything I do.
Yeah.
That's very
That's what you said, Clara. Just like whatever you do, like you got people around you. My path was totally wild too, because like I had the last place I wanted to be is education when I graduated. Really? I was like, I've done this for a long time, kind of get me out of here, right?
Right, yeah.
And it's interesting. Actually, I knew what I didn't want to do, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Yeah. My dad was a contractor, and like from a young age, I was like on the job site, and I was like, I'm no way I'm doing this.
Yeah.
There's no way I'm building houses. But I so value the time I spent with my dad learning how to do that. Got a family in timber. I was the first person to go to college. Well, I knew I wanted to go to college. I didn't have any idea what I wanted to do.
Right.
And I was on my way to law school, actually.
Oh my gosh.
And so, but what's interesting about that is you talk about following your passions.
Yeah.
So I found a love of working with young people. Like that was really enjoyable for me. I was teaching at Chemakin Community College, actually. Yeah. And had a chance to teach LSU and did some other things. And I really found I loved like teaching at the middle school, and just kind of one thing led to another. But it wasn't like I had in my mind what I wanted to do. But I have always loved learning on my terms, if that sounds right.
Yeah, no.
I didn't always love people telling me I had to do an assignment.
I'm the same.
I was kind of rebellious that way. But I've really learned, I'm still taking classes actually. And it's exciting for me. I really love the idea of just like learning new things. It's fun to me.
Too.
But yeah, my path had like, if you were to tell me I was going to be a superintendent, I would just laugh like, what? Like in schools? I thought I was running away from schools. I guess the point there is like, if you find the things you're passionate about, sometimes early. Like some people knew early. I didn't. I wanted to take a different path, but I got to a spot where I was like, is that what I really want to do? Does that fit? Like what yeah. And so the world's wide open. I think that's the idea. And the world, I tell my kids all the time, like, if you know how to work and you're passionate, you are so employable. Everybody wants you. Everybody will want you. When you have a passion for the things you're excited about and you know how to grind and work and be organized, like I will hire you. I have lots of employees and you can work for me. anybody that's like that kind of young person is going to be employable, and you'll do great in whatever profession that you choose. Yeah.
Good to hear. Yeah, it's all about directing passion. It's surrounding ourselves with people who are passionate about similar things too. It's important. We can come together in those passions and do great things.
Yeah. Got about 2 minutes left. Anything else? Any other questions for?
Favorite high school memory?
Oh.
Yeah, good.
Favorite high school memory?
Anything that stuck with you guys?
Yeah, so we went to but I went to Oakland too. I'm an Oakland high school graduate. Yeah. And we went to state. Our basketball team went to state. And so we got the whole week off. It was all excuse. We got to go to Pendleton and so many students went, which was so great that they did that. I mean, it was just such a supportive, environment for our athletics, for our boys basketball. But it was such a fun week. Everybody had some people were staying, we mostly stayed in the same hotel, but there were some close by, that small town of Pendleton. So that was such a fun week. I loved that week.
Yeah, that's sweet. Your whole school got the week off? Is that or the basketball team?
It was, I think, just the seniors. I think it was just the seniors.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I think it's evolved now to they closed the whole school district down.
Are you serious?
Oh, maybe it was. Maybe. Wow. Maybe it was. Yeah.
So it's
really
a
cool.
culture there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which I would like to think I started that in 1982 and brought first trophy back from Pendleton, but it was a third place trophy.
That's great. That's super cool.
I'm trying to think what I remember. I mean, I do remember being in your shoes here. I think that last week of school was, I have a fond memory of that, of this inflection point with life, but also the kind of the question I asked earlier about it's full of emotion, right? Because it's you're excited, but you're anticipating what's kind of coming next. My life's in front of me. What I have to pay for rent? What's that do to me, right? But I think I do remember a moment of introspection where I was this has been a really good ride. This sense of being blessed, of wow, the people that you have come to know, and that community that you've built. That's a fun memory of that. Yeah.
So the memory that actually came to mind for me, and it's probably because this is what we've been talking about, but we did a senior all night. I went to school in Portland, and we were on the Sternwheeler, which was this boat that would go up and down the Willamette. And I spent about 2 hours talking to some my classmates that I hadn't had any classes with them. We have known each other at all. And we talked for 3 hours. And it was just one of those experiences I'll never forget. And a lot of those feelings of just wow, this has been an incredible journey. Yeah.
Yeah, mine was grad night. Yeah, I do want to recognize we also have a grad night. Yeah, we just which parents work so hard and community members work so hard to put that together. But mine was grad night because of that. I was talking to people that weren't in my group, and I thought, oh, I don't want this to end now.
Yeah.
Feel you just made a new connection. Yeah, now you're never gonna see them.
Yeah.
Although the ability to stay together and stay connected is actually, to your point with media, is actually there. So it's kind of fun. Yeah. I felt sometimes in 92 when I graduated, I may never see you again. It's different now, right? It's easy to connect with people, right? So it's way different. What's your cell phone number? There's no word on cell phones. I don't know. So exactly. Yeah. Well, it has been a real pleasure to be with you. To our adults, thank you. To our seniors, extra thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Excited cheering you on for this week and for your next steps. The world is a better place because you're here with us. And so thank you very much. And to our leaders, thank you for dedicating your time and your talents to supporting the young people. I think one of the hallmarks of a great community is when we rally around our young people. And so thank you for taking a lead and rallying around young people. And for young people, we love you. We're so proud of you. And congratulations on graduation coming up this week.
Thank you so much.
And thank you as a leader as well. I actually wanted to say something that I wasn't able to express throughout the episode. So I just want to put it out there. I just want to emphasize how important it is to not lose the things that you discovered a love for in school. So there's so many times when, and even I grew up
playing softball. And I also dabbled in the arts in school, and I learned a lot of things that I loved. I learned that I love to do. And when I got out, when I graduated, it was kind of like, it felt like wiping the slate clean. Like, okay, like I'm going into this part's over, this part's, I'm just starting. But it's so important to integrate what we've learned in that time into our future. And so, I love softball. I absolutely love it. I got to a point in my adult life where I was like, I'm not gonna just not play softball again. I'm gonna continue doing that. And so I got on an adult league, and then I ended up running the league for 4 years just because all of that passion came right back to me. And I, got a pottery wheel at home, and I didn't let that one go either. Anything that you love is worth doing forever. Like, don't let that go. And I would say that for all of the seniors,
Great advice.
Don't let that passion go. It's going to serve you in life, and it's unpredictable how it will. But you always be sure to hang on to that seed of passion.
Yes.
So I just
love it.
Share that.
Great.
And thank you so much. You guys have been such a pleasure having with us today. We are really excited about our next episode next week, celebrating 250 years of independence in America. That's huge. So definitely tune in, and we'll see you then.
Join us Thursdays from 4 to 5 p.m. on News Radio 93.9 FM and 1240 KQEN. Or watch online on the Roseburg School's YouTube channel and the Your Q Facebook page. This show is built with our community, for our community. If you have an idea for a conversation that celebrates, uplifts, or educates Douglas County, or know someone we should feature, we'd love to connect. Reach out at yourq@roseburg.k12.or.us or message us on Facebook.